Welcome to this training on taking a holistic approach to recovery from bipolar disorder. Whether you're a counseling student, holistic practitioner, or integrative health educator, this session is all about understanding bipolar disorder beyond the diagnosis, seeing it as a mind-body environment imbalance that can be stabilized through awareness, structure, and holistic care. In this production, we will cover what bipolar disorder is from a holistic lens by understanding the whole scope of the individual that include the biological and emotional factors that influence it, and how to guide clients through lifestyle, relational, and therapeutic interventions that foster lasting recovery. A trauma-informed understanding of bipolar disorder recognizes that mood instability often emerges not only from biological or genetic predispositions, but also from early life stress and unresolved trauma. Experiences such as chronic neglect, emotional invalidation, or abuse can dysregulate the nervous system, shape maladaptive coping patterns, and influence how genes related to mood regulation are expressed through epigenetic mechanisms, meaning trauma can turn on or off certain genetic expressions without changing the DNA itself. By integrating trauma-informed care, practitioners can address both the physiological and psychological imprints of trauma. Let's start with why this matters. When bipolar disorder is unmanaged, it can have devastating effects. Suicidal thoughts, addiction relapse, financial instability, relationship breakdowns, and deep hopelessness. But with consistent treatment, lifestyle support, and compassion, recovery isn't just possible, it's empowering. People can regain focus, creativity, and energy while learning to live in balance. As holistic practitioners, your role is to support that process, complementing integrative care with natural, psychological, and spiritual tools that help clients feel grounded and capable again. So, what is bipolar disorder? It's a condition that causes alternating periods of high energy, mania or hypomania, and low mood, depression. Some experience severe manic states, racing thoughts, impulsivity, little need for sleep. Others live with milder fluctuations over long periods. And while about 1 in 50 adults are diagnosed each year, many more experience mood cycling without realizing it. From a holistic perspective, bipolar disorder is not just about brain chemistry. It's about how genetics, trauma, lifestyle, and the environment all converge to disrupt internal balance. Let's look at what contributes to it. Biologically, it's linked to irregularities in dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine. A family history increases vulnerability, and hormones like cortisol and thyroid function often play a role. Psychologically, unhealed trauma, perfectionism, or black and white thinking patterns can fuel instability. Many people with bipolar traits are highly sensitive, creative, and driven, but without tools to regulate emotion, that energy can spiral into extremes. Socially and environmentally, isolation, chaotic relationships, disrupted sleep, and overstimulation can trigger cycles or relapses. If you're teaching this, you can illustrate these overlapping influences through a case study or lifestyle mapping exercise. Have students identify how biological, psychological, and environmental factors interact in a sample client story. In depressive phases, people often feel drained, hopeless, and guilty. Concentration fades, sleep and appetite shift, and daily life feels heavy. In manic or hypomanic phases, the pendulum swings. There's boundless energy, racing thoughts, impulsive spending, and sleepless creativity. Mixed episodes combine the two, agitation and despair together, and these periods carry the greatest suicide risk. One of the best holistic tools for understanding bipolar patterns is the life chart or mood diary. Encourage clients, or students if you're teaching, to track their sleep, nutrition, stress, exercise, and triggers for 3 to 6 months. This builds self-awareness and helps spot early warning signs before a full episode emerges. You can use this as a classroom exercise. Have students review sample data and identify potential triggers or patterns of imbalance. Many clients feel ambivalent about diet changes or therapy. This is where motivational interviewing can help. You can ask reflective questions like, what feels hardest about staying consistent? Or, what would stability make possible for you? When clients feel understood, they're more likely to engage in consistent care. Omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, and B vitamins help regulate neurotransmitters and reduce inflammation, while supplements like N-acetylcysteine, NAC, and adaptogenic herbs like ashwagandha may support stress resilience and emotional balance. For emotional regulation, teach grounding skills like mindful breathing, progressive relaxation, or guided imagery. Encourage journaling, creative expression, and gratitude practices to build emotional balance. Anger management can include cooling breathwork or physical grounding, walking barefoot, holding ice, or mindful stretching. For cognitive support, introduce CBT and ACT principles. Help clients identify distorted thinking, like "I'll never get better," and reframe it with balanced language. Encourage value-based actions even when mood shifts occur to reinforce consistency over intensity. For physical wellness, emphasize exercise as natural medicine. Even 20 minutes of movement can improve neurotransmitter balance. Nutrition plays a huge role. Whole foods, hydration, omega-3s, and reducing sugar and caffeine make a real difference. Sleep hygiene is essential. Consistent bedtime, limited screens, and respecting the circadian rhythm. If clients are on medication, encourage collaboration with prescribers so adjustments can be made safely and holistically. Interpersonal and environmental wellness are just as vital. Support systems, family, peers, therapy groups help prevent isolation. Encourage clients to build meaningful routines and declutter overstimulating spaces. Aromatherapy, natural light, and daily structure help regulate both mood and energy. A practical safety step is reducing impulsivity risks, setting spending limits, avoiding substances, or delaying major decisions during high-energy phases. Bipolar disorder often coexists with anxiety, trauma responses, addiction, and metabolic issues. It's important not to define clients by their diagnosis, but to see the broader context, how mind, body, and lifestyle interact. Encourage curiosity and compassion over judgment. Every recovery plan should include a crisis plan. That means identifying early warning signs, listing support contacts, and outlining what to do if suicidal thoughts or manic impulses appear. A useful classroom activity is to have students create a mock crisis plan and role-play a calm intervention, showing how to guide someone from escalation to safety. Recovery from bipolar disorder is not about eliminating emotion. It's about creating balance and rhythm. Healing happens across 5 dimensions: emotional, cognitive, physical, interpersonal, and environmental. Holistic practitioners help clients stabilize by connecting all 5, blending psychology, lifestyle, and compassion into one integrated approach. If you're teaching this module, you might start with a case vignette and return to it throughout the session, inviting discussion around stigma, balance, and self-awareness. Assign reflective activities like mood tracking, journaling, or environmental assessments, and ask students to consider their own patterns of balance and imbalance. For students, keep a balanced journal while studying this topic. Track your mood, energy, and habits for a week. Notice how lifestyle choices influence your emotional landscape, and imagine how similar awareness can empower your future clients. Recovery is not necessarily about being cured. It's about learning your rhythm and living within it with confidence and care. Without balance, bipolar disorder can cause deep suffering, socially, emotionally, and physically. Yet with proper integrative care, many individuals live fulfilling, stable, and creative lives. Here's a case example. Jordan, a 29-year-old artist, experiences cycles of sleepless nights filled with inspiration, followed by weeks of exhaustion and guilt. After learning about mood tracking and nutrition for energy balance, Jordan begins noticing early signs of escalation and implements self-care routines before a full manic episode develops. What early signs might Jordan have missed in previous cycles? How could a practitioner help Jordan create balance without stifling creativity? Section 2, Contributing Factors. Biological neurochemical imbalances, hormonal fluctuations, genetics, nutrition, exercise, and sleep regulation support brain chemistry. Psychological trauma history, cognitive distortions, identity challenges, mindfulness, CBT, ACT, and self-compassion work enhance emotional regulation. Social stigma, family dynamics, relational instability, family education, and peer support foster understanding and reduce isolation. Environmental light exposure, toxins, overstimulation, stress aromatherapy, structured routines, and decluttering restore nervous system balance. Teaching clients to observe their lives with curiosity, not judgment, is a cornerstone of recovery. Workbook tool, life chart, and mood tracker. A downloadable form for daily or weekly tracking of sleep quality, energy and mood level, nutrition and hydration, exercise and body movement, stress or major life events, medication or supplement consistency. Assign the tracker as a 2-week personal practice. Reflect on your own patterns of energy, mood, or focus. Review reflective summaries for insights on how tracking increases awareness. Section 4, Emotional Regulation and Self-Compassion. Mood swings often trigger shame or self-criticism. A compassionate approach helps clients rebuild trust with their own emotions. Strategies to teach: mindfulness-based regulation, noticing emotions without reacting, breathing and grounding, 5-5-5 method, inhale, hold, exhale. LOVE model, listen, observe, validate, empathize, and empower. Gratitude journaling, shifting attention to stability and appreciation. Expressive arts, painting, writing, or movement as emotional release. Helps students and clients record triggers, physical sensations, emotions, and coping responses. Question prompt: when I feel emotionally flooded, what helps me return to center? Section 5, cognitive and mental health support. Cognitive distortions, like I'll always fail or I'm out of control, reinforce instability. Holistic care teaches clients to challenge and replace these beliefs. CBT key reframing techniques helps us accept disturbing memories that can cause PTSD and transform negative thoughts into balanced statements versus dissociating or trying to delete past memories. ACT, acceptance and commitment therapy. Choose actions aligned with values, even when emotions fluctuate. Inner dialogue awareness, journaling self-talk patterns and reauthoring them. Workbook tool, cognitive reframe exercise. Column 1, thought. Column 2, emotional impact. Column 3, reframe. Column 4, new action or belief. Use role play to practice identifying distorted thinking and modeling compassionate reframes. Section 6, physical and lifestyle support. Bipolar recovery depends heavily on body regulation. Students should understand the physiology of rhythm and its link to mood stability. Here are key focus areas. Exercise. Movement balances neurotransmitters and reduces medication side effects. Nutrition. Prioritize whole foods, protein-rich meals, omega-3s, and hydration. Sleep hygiene. Maintain consistent routines, limit stimulants, and protect rest environments. Medication collaboration. Encourage open communication with other natural health professionals and medical providers about side effects and dosage changes. Encourages students to create a weekly routine including nutrition, movement, rest, and joyful activities. Ask learners to submit a sample holistic lifestyle plan for a case study client. Section 7, interpersonal and environmental healing. Healing doesn't happen in isolation. A supportive ecosystem promotes regulation and reduces relapse. Family and community education. Boundary setting and communication skills. Peer and group support integration. Environmental wellness, aromatherapy, light exposure, decluttering, grounding design. Guide students through evaluating personal or client environments for balance, sensory overload, and grounding cues. Section 8, co-occurring conditions and safety planning. Bipolar disorder often intersects with other challenges, addiction, trauma, or anxiety. Practitioners should assess for, which includes suicidal ideation, substance misuse, anger or impulse dysregulation, and hormonal or thyroid imbalance. Here's a crisis response plan template. Warning signs, coping actions, support contacts, emergency numbers, guidance for instructors. Have students complete a mock crisis plan as part of their practicum. Emphasize empowerment and non-judgmental support. Section 9, integration and reflection. Early tracking and self-awareness prevent escalation. Create a daily, weekly record of sleep, energy, nutrition, triggers, and self-care actions. Tracking triggers, feelings, and effective grounding techniques helps guide identification and transformation of unhelpful thoughts. The work of a holistic practitioner is not to label, but to liberate, to help each person reconnect to their innate potential, stability, purpose, and wholeness. Begin your transformation today and receive a free Therapeutic P.A.N.A.C.E.A workbook at HolisticSchool.Online.